magic what you have done.
You rock my world, baby. You rock my world like no one else. You make it spin and twirl, baby. You rattle my chain. You rattle my chain. Yeah, you found the key to drive my poor heart insane. Alright. That's how you rock it, baby. You rock my world. Yeah, you light up my life like no other girl. Baby, you are the one for me. Baby, you are the one for me. Yeah, clear as daylight for anyone to see. Yeah, baby.
Hello, hello. Let me change my camera angle here. See if everything's working. All right, cool. The camera didn't freeze up this week. That's a bonus. Okay, hold on. Let me put this girl away here. And let me pause this video back here. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Monday Night Ramble. Another Monday night. Time flies as always. The first day of fall today. It was a pretty nice day out today. It was a beautiful weekend. Oh my God, it was an awesome weekend. Got a lot of motorcycle riding done this weekend, I'll tell you. Got some interesting news on that front, motorcycle-wise. I might surprise some of you folks that know me very well. Some of you know me well. Some of you just met me. Some of you are new to the show. But let me know. Give me a thumbs up in the chat room. Let me know that you can hear the mic and you can see the video and all that good stuff, because I'm still working with a whole new system here. Things are coming along well, but as they say, it's not flawless. Let's see. All right, cool. And we got Brad Egan, first guy in, a long time no see. Mr. Egan, how's Ottawa treating you? Hopefully you're doing well in our capital city of Ottawa. Brad used to live not far from where I live right now, about maybe 20 or 30 minutes away from me. And he recently moved to Ottawa, I believe. And yeah, it's nice to see you back, buddy. Hope you're all well, and say hi to the wife. Ben Coombs, how's it going, brother? Saw your show last night. Or, yeah, was it last night? Yeah, it was Sunday. Yeah, good show, brother. Hopefully you're doing well. Try to, if you guys have not, I'm sure everybody in my channel have subscribed to Ben, but make sure you do if you haven't. We're trying to push him over the 2,000 mark before NAMM. And speaking of NAMM, I have some news regarding that too. So it's a news-filled night. Not news of the industry, but more news of me and the channel. And you know how it goes. Well, Joe Hervey's in the house. How are you, Joe? Sorry I didn't start the show with some metal this week. I went the blues route, but and with that tone is something completely different than I'm used to doing on the regular basis. Some of you know that I use the Helix pretty much full time. Tonight I'm not using the Helix, and I'll show you that in a little bit. Some pretty interesting things. I still use the Helix a lot, but I've been experimenting with some new things, and it's proven to be quite interesting. Zach Thong, how's it going, brother? Hope you're doing well. Bearded Blues Dude, how's it going, brother? Still here at work. Wow, you're still at work? That sucks. Yeah, I had a crazy day at work today. I had something like 25 photo sessions, headshots to do for people, and it was like one after the other. But it was, makes the day go by. Who else we got? Alex Radford. How's it going, Alex? Nice to see you. Upside Down's in the house. Dr. Guitars from Arizona somewhere. Hope you're doing well. Love that guitar you made for Quentin, even though I didn't see the unboxing, but I'll get over it. As they say, get over it. But yeah, awesome stuff. If you haven't seen that, go check out Quentin James' channel and have a look at that beautiful guitar that Dave put together, because that's amazing. Brian S., Guitar Dudes and Dudettes, how's it going, brother? Nice to see you made a live show. Yeah, I'm not used to seeing you on my live show. I know you watch some of the replays and stuff, but usually I come on pretty early, I guess, on Monday nights at 7 o'clock. So depending on where you are, it could be, dinner time or whatever. So I understand that. So no problem at all. If you can make it, you make it. If you can't, you can't. Let's see. Cool. You guys talking about some football there. I see Joe Hervey made a few comments. My Bills won yesterday again. That's 3-0, folks. 3-0 this year. I'm not going to jinx it by overhyping it, but man, looking good. I was watching the first game of the season a few weeks ago, and I was worried because I think it was like by halftime they were losing pretty bad, and it was like, oh no, I'm going to have another year of this bull crap. And they came back and won that game, and then they won last week, and they won yesterday. So if anybody in here is a Bills fan, but yeah, and don't go too hard on me, even though I know some of you don't like the Bills. So I've heard, but I like them. I guess they're close to me. We're in Buffalo, and I cheer for them. Brad Miller, how are you, Brad? Gary Tholander, what's up? Good stuff. We've got a good crowd tonight. James Severin, Brian Jacko Cote. Yeah, I got to start playing bass again, eh? I see my bass back there, but I haven't picked it up in a few weeks. I got to pick it up. I really play it a lot when I'm writing my bass lines and stuff, and then recording, obviously. But when I'm just coming in here to jam and stuff, I don't pick it up as often as I probably should, because with that stuff, got to keep your chops up. CN 8800. That's John Richards. How are you, brother? Hope you're doing well in St. John's, New Brunswick. Got a lot of cool folks in here tonight. We've got a good agenda tonight. We're not gonna go too far into news and stuff. We're gonna do some chatting and hopefully have a good time for an hour on Monday nights, that I can entertain you guys for an hour on Monday nights, which still kind of boggles my mind. But hey, the R9. Yes, the R9 is the guitar that I play absolutely the most. The R6 comes in second, the Telecaster comes in third, and the Strat, the Friedman Vintage S, comes in fourth. Not that I don't enjoy it, it's just that seems to be the revolving of guitars lately, has been that order. Tasty. Okay. Am I getting down to the bottom here? Cool. Okay, I'm almost done, guys. I just want to make sure I get everybody in here. I've got Thrash Metal. How are ya? Guitar Hack. How's it going, Guitar Hack? Try to get your subs in for Guitar Hack, because I know he's trying to reach 1,000. He's almost there. I think he's 920 maybe. I haven't looked recently, but I think yesterday he was in that, hovering around that mark. So try to get him to his 1,000 subscriber goal by December. That'd be awesome. I think you'll get there probably before then. So keep up the good work. You finally made a Monday. Awesome. Let's see. Oh, the stupid thing jumped up a little bit, but that's okay. That's okay. Oregon Steve, how's it going, brother? Oregon Steve. Moncton. Oh, sorry, John. John Richards is in Moncton, not St. John's, New Brunswick. Sorry. I don't know why I thought you were in St. John for some reason. But Moncton's cool. I played a Battle of the Bands in Moncton, New Brunswick back in 1980. Oh, geez. What year would that have been? John probably knows. Probably like 86, maybe. Around that time. We played at the friggin' the arena, the big arena where they have hockey, like they have a junior team, I think, and we played a big friggin' Battle of the Bands there. It was awesome. I think we played a Motley Crue song, a Guns N' Roses song, and I think we only had 3 songs or something, but it was a cool experience. And then we had a party all the way up there, and then when we got there, we had motels and stuff. So, you're 16 years old, 17 years old, whatever, young and ready to rock. It was all a lot of fun, and the whole gang came down. Harmony, how are you, Harmony? Nice to see you. Terry G&G, how are you, Terry? Hope you're doing well. Sorry to hear about your mom. That is rough, brother, and I feel for you. Hopefully you're doing well and getting through things okay. And hang in there, bro. Brian S., compare your Les Pauls to the Eastman's 56 neck-wise. The R6 neck is a little bit bigger than the Eastman that I tried. So that would be about it. I like the feel of the R6 more than I like the feel of the Eastman. I don't know if it's the coating that they have on their necks. It just felt a little stickier to me. But the R6 is nice. It's like my R9, basically the same type of thing. So so that's how I would compare the Eastman 56 necks with the Gibson R6. The R6 is definitely a little bit bigger, but I don't mind thicker necks now. I've gotten used to it. The R9 is perfect. It's exactly what I like as far as a neck. The R6 is just a little bit bigger than that, and I get along really good with them. So it's all good. Let's see. There we go. Ergen Steve's in here. Okay, so now let's get to topic number one. Oh, yeah, topic number one. I did just something yesterday. It was I felt so proud of myself. You're probably wondering what is he talking about now, but I'm the kind of guy that if something goes wrong in the house, depending on how technical it is, like you know, especially when it comes to electrical stuff, if something like electrical happens, I don't usually screw with it. I call somebody and they come in and they fix it. But yesterday I was outside doing some stuff and I had to program the garage door opener in my wife's car and everything. So I got all that working. And one of the bulbs was burnt in the garage door opener. So I went in there and I put the bulb in and there was a fault or something that a connection fault, and it friggin' blew pretty much in my hand. Like the whole thing, smoke came out, everything, and I like freaked the shit out of me. So so I took the bulb out. I unplugged the garage door opener motor to make sure I wasn't going to electrocute myself. And then I took that bulb out and figured out, okay, what am I going to do with this? So my first instinct was, okay, well, I'll call somebody this week and they'll come in and they'll fix the garage door opener because it wasn't working anymore. I thought I blew it up because there was smoke and everything, right? But anyway, it just goes to show you this day and age on YouTube what you can find, because I go on YouTube and I do a little bit of searching around and I find, you know, some tips on what to look for if something like that happens. So one guy went on and said that he had a similar thing happen, and he blew the friggin' logic board inside the garage door opener, and he managed to take the whole logic board out and solder two wires together and fix the connection and put it back and worked and everything. And I said, holy shit, there's no way in hell I'm going to take out the logic board. I'm going to start soldering connection points and stuff. I can't, you know, I soldered before a long time ago when I was doing RC cars and things, but that's quite a while ago, and I'm not very adept at that stuff, so I usually don't fuss with it. But yesterday I said, you know what, screw it, I'm going to take the damn thing apart, I'm going to try it, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, at least I said I tried. So I took the whole logic board out, I brought it downstairs in the basement and started to find where the connection points were, where it actually burnt and broke the connection. I got some copper and I basically connected 2 points, soldered the 2 points together, pop the thing back in the garage door opener, and bingo, the whole freaking thing works like perfect, no problem. Put 2 bulbs in, everything's working, everything's programmed on there. Oh my God, can't believe I pulled that one off, because I was sure that I blew the hell out of that thing. And typically before I would have probably called somebody this morning and said, hey, can you come by and have a look at my garage door? This guy would have come to my house, took the thing apart and said, yeah, your logic board is gone. You need to buy a new logic board or replace the whole thing altogether. That would have been about $500-600 cost. And there you go. But I'm glad I did a little bit of searching and just went for it, because it saved me some money and actually it felt good to kind of actually fix that. I had no idea I could do something like that. So a lesson for all you folks out there: you can do anything. Just go on YouTube and there's probably somebody will show you a little bit of how to do it. And don't be afraid to attempt stuff that you're not, you know, especially with electrical stuff. I'm so freaking worried to electrocute myself. Brian S. says, would you say the Eastman is closer to an RO neck? I would say the Eastman is a little bit thicker than an RO neck. It's probably closer to the 59, actually. It's pretty much size-wise. It's just the shape is a little different. I don't know if it's the angle or whatever. It is different than the ROs and R9s and the Gibsons. But as far as the thickness of it and stuff, I would say it's more close to the 59 neck. So a little bit thicker than an RO. Let me see here. I'm gonna put this thing up. Since I made the graphic, I might as well put that up. There you go, and people know we're live. All right, let's go down. Oh my God, this thing jumped pretty famously as I was rambling on. It's got a knob and tube wiring. Not electrocuting yourself is always a good plan. Yeah, I know, right? Who says they were an Joe Hervey was into nitro RC cars. Yeah, so was I. But I was doing the off-road stuff. It was 8 scale RC buggies, nitro engine, the full kit. I was all kitted out when I left music back in 2007, 2008. Whenever the band quit and I sold all my gear, I needed to do something completely different, and I needed to occupy my brain with something. So that was it for a few years before I got into really doing the photography and the multimedia stuff, in which I do full time now as a job. I got into RC cars, and I went to races all over the place in the States, all over Ontario. I I got third place in RC Pro buggy category, which is, you know, pretty good. But I was racing every weekend, and those little cars, man, they're like 8 scale things, and they have gears, and you have to put, you know, the real gas engines or nitro engines, basically mixed fuel, and they operate, you know, just like a full size vehicle, except it's an 8 scale vehicle, and you have to do the maintenance on it every week. I would take the whole thing apart, get it all, you know, oiled up, change parts that were getting used or broken or whatever, get it all ready for next weekend. The next weekend I'd be out again. I even bought a full big trailer that I would pull behind my truck, and it had a full pit in there, basically all my tools, my tires, and it was insane. Like anything I get into it like full blast. And so for 2008, 9, I got into it, and I got out of it in around 2012, 13. I was already pretty much into the photography and videography at that point, and it was just taking up too much time. So I had to let that go. So, but yeah, RC cars, there you go. Little background on that. I do have some video of that stuff I should show you guys someday. It's pretty interesting. Ladybug, how are ya? You can't stay, but you dropped in to say hi. That's okay. The electric cars, oh my God, the LiPo batteries are amazing. Yeah, I had an electric buggy as well, and that's where I did any type of soldering that I knew at one point was because of the electric cars. We would solder the motors and stuff, and the batteries, they were super fast, those cars. DIY, yes. All right, so, okay, Eastman is more like a 59 for sure. Yes, Dave, yeah, I will attest to that, absolutely. Terry says, "Did you try?" Or I tried out an Eastman at Summer NAMM, actually, the gold top. Looking at Eastman with Lawler, it was a beautiful guitar, and don't get me wrong, I loved it. I was just, my heart was with that Gibson, and I just couldn't get it out of my head. So I knew if I would have bought the Eastman, I would have been second guessing myself. So I said, you know, screw it. If I can find it, because what I paid for that R6 to buy an Eastman here in Canada, by the time you do the conversion and tax and everything, a few $100s more, and I had the R6. So I just, for me, that was the way to go. But if you were to buy an R6 at the store, like a brand new one today, you're paying way more than what you're going to pay for an Eastman. So it does make sense if you're doing it that way. But if you find a used R6 or something, gold top, I think your money's better spent there, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. Let's see. Yeah, just tag me in the chat if you have a question, and we'll keep going here. Is Johnny? Oh, Johnny Bean, what's up, Johnny? How's the cat? Saw you yesterday. I think you were doing something with Hack, and the cat was going nuts in the back. Funny cat. Funny. There we go. Everybody saying hi, Johnny. There we go. Oregon Steve, have you been enjoying any fall riding? I have. I've done a lot of fall riding. Actually, I've done more riding in the last couple of weeks than I have, this summer I did quite a bit of riding, but not as much as I do previous years, just because we went to NAMM, we did some trips down east and stuff, but not with the bikes, you know. And so that took out some time of riding. But in the last 3-4 weeks, I've been doing a lot of riding, and I've got some news regarding that. So stay tuned. Hey, Bam Ozzy's in here. Awesome. Cool. All right. So I think I've gotten myself down to the bottom. Johnny Bean. Cool. All right. So if you've got a question, just tag me in there. Speaking of bikes, okay, this is an interesting topic, I guess, for people who know me. Everybody knows I'm a big Harley guy. I love Harleys. I've been riding Harleys for the last 30 years. That's what I've been riding. I started riding motorcycles probably around the age of 5-6 years old. And until I was about 2021, I always rode Yamahas, Hondas, sport bikes, motocross, dirt bikes, things like that nature. And then back in early 90s, I inherited my dad's Harley. It was a 78 lowrider, and I have rode that for a few years. But people who know 78s, shovel heads and stuff, those years, they weren't the most reliable motorcycles and had issues. So I sold it and got a new Harley, and then since then I've gotten about 5 of them, I believe. So every 5 or 6 years I trade and I get something different. But they've always been Harley Davidsons, and my current one is a 2019 Road Glide Ultra, which is an awesome bike. I love it. But my wife has a Harley as well, and she started riding in 2007. And she rode for the first couple of months. She was riding a Suzuki 500, like a little, not really a sport bike, but a sportier bike, just something smaller she could handle and learn on, because she was just learning. She never rode before. And then probably a few months in, she wanted the Harley, so she went and bought a Harley, and now she's riding a bike that is pretty much as big as the one I'm riding. And it's a beautiful bike, and I think some of you have seen some of my live streams. I've shown pictures of it and video of it as well, just to kind of give you a glimpse of our motorcycle world. And but recently she's been asking, I think I'd like something different than a Harley, more sporty, smaller, that I can handle a lot better, that I can take to work on a regular basis, do more commuting, which kind of surprised me, because once you're in that Harley world, it's really the whole experience, not just the motorcycle, but it's the culture. There's a whole lot more things that happen there, right? Yeah, Brad Egan, it's the Amber Whiskey Street Glide. So on Tuesday, we went and let me bring up this screen. She wanted to go try BMWs. Yeah, BMW motorcycles. I said, okay, well, listen, I'll go with you. I support her in anything she wants to do, just like she supports me. As you can see, I'm doing all this stuff, and I never get any grief for it. As long as we support each other and we're responsible, everybody's cool. So I definitely support her in her adventure. So she wanted to go try this bike. Let me see if I can pull this. Can I do that? There we go. Let me bring that off. There. So this is the bike that she decided that she's very interested in. So we went to try this one. She tried this one out. It's a 1250 RT. It's got about 135, 140 horsepower. So it's got more horsepower than her Harley, but a lot less torque. They're just completely different bikes, different motorcycle experience. So, but it was a smaller bike. She was able to handle it very well. She really liked it, and so now her heart is set on getting this bike. And so we're trying to work out a deal now, and so she'd have to trade in her Harley. And so I brought her Harley up there on Friday to have them look at it and tell me what they would give her for it and all this stuff. So they're going to call me tomorrow with the deal that they're proposing, and then we'll make a decision from there. But yeah, she's going to move from the Harley to the BMW if the deal is right. And it's a big move, because she's been riding that Harley for a while, and been riding Harley since 2007. So it's a completely different experience. So yeah, Brad, it's a nice bike, a nice, I sat on it and everything, and it's really full featured. But it's a completely different riding experience, right? First oil change on that BMW is going to leave a mark. I hope not. I hope not, Brian. You've got a BMW car, so I hope they're not like the cars as far as when it comes to maintenance. Let's hope. Good Lord. But yeah, so when she tried that, I said, okay, well, let me try one. They had the demo days. Basically, they had a bunch of bikes for people to try. So I tried one too. And what did I try? Let me show you that. If I can. I tried this thing. A 1600. This is 170 horsepower. It's got 6 cylinders, fully loaded. I mean, the thing's got everything on it. It's a touring machine, but it's a sport touring, they call it. And man, that thing is insane. I mean, I was in second gear, and I think I was pushing 100K, like no problem. Yeah, double for everything maintenance. You say, yeah, I hope it's not that bad. Brad says if he wasn't building a house, he'd love to buy her a bike. Well, yeah, that'd be awesome. It'd be a great bike for you. But yeah, if you're building a house, that's going to be a little bit of a challenge because that's where your money needs to go, right? So, but yeah, so people that know me well wouldn't even consider me being on one of these bikes because I'm a pretty much, like I said, last 30 years, it's been Harley. And I've, gone quite that was my thing, and it still is. I've I was thinking about, well, should I change with her and we'll both have BMWs and go a different route and whatever, change is okay sometimes, but well, I just couldn't do it, not at this time. I still love my bike way too much, and I love that riding style and the whole culture and everything. So I said, it's up to you. If you want to go ahead and do that, I will support you 100%. And but I just tried this, and it was interesting to say the least. But man, these things can really fly. 6-cylinder, 165. I think it's pushing 170 horsepower at the rear wheel. Just insane power. And it's got every feature: GPS, heated seat, heated grips, different ride modes where you press it for sport mode. The suspension changes, the throttle response changes. It's just really advanced stuff. So even compared to Harleys and stuff, they've got way more technology in these bikes than I've been used to with the Harley brand. So Harley has some catching up to do if they wanted, especially in the suspension department. I find that these bikes are really good in that, and Harley needs to do some real work in the suspension area. But so I decided not to, for me anyway. I think I'm going to stay where I am, but she's going to do something different. Now, there you go. So that's our motorcycle news of the week. I know it's not guitar related, but I figured it was crazy enough that to see me on a BMW is crazy enough. So good luck with both of you on motorcycle choice. I've got to run. No problem, Oregon Steve. Have a good one. Let me go down a little bit. I like the BMW bikes, Dale Palmer says. I don't even want to hear my motorcycle story right now. Oh, you don't? I don't want to hear your motorcycle story right now? Trash? Oh, well, you probably have a good one. I'm more of a cruiser guy. I'm the same way, upside down, but I'd like, if I was a, millionaire or something, I would have, a sport bike and a Harley and a sports car, like a different thing for different, sometimes you feel like riding a sport bike. Sometimes you feel like riding a cruiser. So, hey, Mitch, what's going on? Mitch Hammond in the house. Helix motorcycle. Yeah, I should invent that. A Helix motorcycle. All right. Speaking of the Helix and the tone and stuff that you heard tonight, and what the title of this video is, which is your favorite Marshall. So as you know, I changed my audio interface last week. I put it all into the studio, and I did a little studio tour. And the audio interface that I've got is this Apollo Twin by Universal Audio. Hey, Showman Blues, Gary Tholander, how are you? So with that, you can get plugins, which are basically amplifiers, and they sit in the actual preamp of the thing. So it's like you're plugging into a real amp for the most part. It's still modeling. But they've got a pack called the Marshall pack where they give you different types of Marshalls. You get a Plexi, a JPM 2023, a Jubilee. And what I was playing through was direct into my Universal Audio interface using the Marshall Jubilee with a little bit of compression on it. And that's it. There was no, and a little bit of reverb. I put a different reverb plug-in in there just to give me a little bit of reverb because I can't really play without reverb for some reason. It just doesn't sound or feel the same way for me, so I always put that. But other than that, there's no distortion pedals or EQs or anything. It's just using the Marshall Jubilee. So let me bring up that screen. Can I do that? How can I do... Yeah, that's going to be weird here. Hold on. Let me see if I can do this. I had it all set up, and the thing lost the settings. but I'll see if I can bring that image. No, that's not what I need. Because I want to show you the actual screen where you see the Marshall, the Jubilee, and how it's set up in my interface. But I don't know if it's going to let me do this or not. And I'm scared if I try to do this on the fly that I might lose the stream, which I do not want to do right now. Local camera. I don't want local. No, don't want that. Don't want that. Bear with me, folks. GFX limit reached. Oh, wait. No, that won't work either. That's weird. Okay. Give me 1 second. All right. Do that. I'm shorter the way. Nope, that's not what I want. Add browser. Nope. All right. Well, it's not going to let me do it right now, but technically what you see is the amp head. So let me grab the guitar and you can hear what it sounds like. All right. So let's see. So this is just like plugging into a Marshall Jubilee. So Marshall sounds there's so many, like the Jubilee sounds so different than a Plexi and so forth, but they'd all have that character, I find. I don't know what your favorite Marshalls are, but to me the Jubilee has always been one of my favorites. So let me go to this, and I'm going to try to change it to the Plexi. I don't know if it's going to work because I didn't really set up the Plexi with these settings. Hopefully it doesn't blow your ears out here. If I go to my Marshall, let me put the Marshall 2023 on, so you'll see a difference. Oh yeah, there. So it's very different than the Jubilee. It's got a little bit, but it always has that nice, I don't know how to say it. It's like a compressed, you can feel the tubes or whatever. Brad Miller says, why not get Helix native? Well, I'll use my Helix all the time, so this was just to experiment with these plugins with UA audio, just to see how good they are, because I did try. They have all the amps. They have like Sir amps, they have Friedman amps, they have all kinds of stuff. Some of the amps that I tried weren't that great as far as plugins, but the Marshall ones really stood out to me to be pretty accurate. Right? I don't know. To me, it sounds they've done those plugins very well. UA Audio has. They sound like Marshalls to me. Like when I go to a music store and I try a Marshall, and I've had Marshalls in the past, and that's what they sound like. So they've done a good job compared to some. I tried the Friedman, and it was okay. I tried Diesel, Angle, a couple other ones. I don't know. They didn't do anything for me compared to what these. No, here's the Jubilee. I don't know. It reacts very well with your pick dynamics as well. So they've really done a really good job with these amp models as far as the universal audio. So if you ever change your audio interface and you get a universal audio interface, this is a nice bonus to have. It does come with the Plexi amp for free, and then if you want to buy like the Jubilee and get the full Marshall pack or whatever, you buy that. But yeah, I think I will end up using some of these amps when I'm doing recording, because I use my Helix primary. That's my number one thing, and I have my setup there, and they sound really well. But if I want a really authentic Marshall tone exactly the way that this sounds, I can use this plugin and go right into my recording software, and bingo, there you go. Just gives you a little bit more options that you can use, because I think the Helix does a great job with their Marshall modeling, but I think this is better with their Marshall amps, just the Marshall amps. For some reason, I don't know, they've got that one, they've done that one right. Chicken Guitars, how's it going? Hope your leg's getting better. I know you got stung by some like a wasp or something. That's always fun. Doctor, did you float away yet? Did you float away? Why, Dr. Guitars he lives in the desert. That's an AC/DC tone for sure. Yeah, Brad, that's what I thought as well. It's got that AC/DC classic rock type of sound. They do it really well, and it also reacts to your pick dynamics very well. It feels really like tube-ish. So, wait, so this is some kind of magic box with all the amp inside. Yeah, well, Universal Audio is known for their plugins. I mean, they make the best stuff in the world. Some of the major studios all over the place use their gear, not just their plugins, but the real gear. So they know what they're doing with that stuff. So I think it's an aux box. It's not the aux box. UA Audio makes the aux box as well. So again, they make some good amp model. It's not even an amp model, the aux box, that you're plugging a real amp into it. They model speakers and mics and that thing, and they do really good. So Terry, maybe they paid Marshall for sampling. I don't know. I'm sure they've got a deal, because the amp that you see on the screen, I wish I could show you the freaking screen, but for some reason it's not letting me do it here. I'll have to check my setup and see what I'm doing wrong, because I had it all set up, and I've been able to show you the screen before without any issues, so I must be missing something. But it shows you the actual amp. It says Marshall. When you look at other companies that model amps and stuff, they'll call it something else, like they can't use the real name because they don't have a license, but UA has an actual license with the companies that they model, so it's kind of cool. Let me see, Chicken Guard. They need to go back to hell where they came from. I'm ready for the cold weather. The bees or the wasp? Yeah, it's not fun getting stung. That's for sure. Damn, New Jersey, what's going on, bro? All right, so that was the Marshall kind of thing. I just curious to know. I wanted to get your vibe on it. And, to me, it sounds really, really good. It sounds like super close to real Marshalls that I've played in the past, and I've owned a couple. I've owned a DSL back in 2018 when I got back into music. That was probably one of the first amps I picked up, and before going all Helix, I tried a bunch of amps, and I tried them at the music store as well. I tried the JCM 800, and my buddy that I played in bands with back in the 80s when I was a teenager, he bought the Marshall Jubilee stack, the full friggin' stack, back in 86, I believe it was. So I'm used to hearing that tone, so they definitely did a good job with her. So that was that. I guess the other news to talk about before we end the show is that I was able to secure my NAMM plans. I wasn't sure if I was going to be trying to attend NAMM this year, the winter NAMM and stuff, but after some discussion and some stuff worked out, I was able to do the flight. The hotel is all booked, and I'm just waiting on the pass because I do it through my work as a multimedia, operator or whatever. So I submitted that, and I should hear back anytime. They're supposed to send me an email saying, "Yeah, you're fine, you can go." If I don't get my pass through work, then I'll probably approach somebody else in the industry or in our community that might be able to hook me up. So right now everything is booked, and I'm ready to go experience Winter NAMM. I experienced Summer NAMM, and I had a blast there. It was really a lot of fun, and I just hope that Winter NAMM isn't overwhelming, because it's a quite different experience from what I've heard anyway. It's super, big, and I'm not familiar with that area at all. I had been to Nashville once before, so I was kind of, not really familiar with the area that much, but enough that I wasn't, it wasn't completely foreign to me when I got there. But I've never been to California, so this will be a first time trip, and it's going to be probably action packed. I'll bring I've got my camera set up as far as what I want to bring with me to do the interviews, and my mics and all that stuff. I'm not bringing a lot of stuff. I've got a pretty portable little rig. What I learned at Summer NAMM, what worked, what didn't, as far as the sound in there, and when you want to talk to somebody and put them on camera, you need some sort of mic to get close to them so that so you can hear them and you can do an interview and so forth. So I've got that stuff pretty much figured out. So that's the NAMM news. So that'll be interesting. That'll be interesting. Alex is going to be there. See you in January. Yeah, definitely. Zim's Guitars. How are you, Zims? I watch your show on Fridays all the time. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well, buddy. And let's see. Tons of fun. Yeah, I'm sure a bunch of you have cough. Just in case. Awesome, Alex. I will definitely touch base with you if something comes up as far as passes. Joe, great hang, awesome. So if anybody else in here is going to be at NAMM in January, let me know, and we definitely should hook up. I know Ben is planning to go, and I don't know if I've been. Tone King had emailed me last week to ask some questions about cameras, and he was thinking that he might be going as well. So maybe he's going, and I'm sure there's tons of people. Obviously, it's a huge event, so it will be an experience. And let me know if you're from California area, the things that I should go see while I'm there, outside of NAMM, cool guitar stores or music venues that I should definitely go see a show or something. One thing I am doing on the Saturday night, of course you guys know I'm a huge motorcycle fan, but my favorite sport in the whole world is motocross racing. I used to do that as a kid. I love it. I follow it to this day. Supercross is one of my favorite sports to watch on TV. And while it will be in Anaheim, the season is just starting for Supercross. It starts in January, so they start a few weeks before NAMM. They have a race in Anaheim. I think they go to St. Louis, and they come back to Anaheim on the weekend that I'm there. So I'm going to go see a live Supercross race at the Anaheim Stadium. I guess it's where the baseball stadium is in Anaheim. I'm assuming. I don't know the stadiums, but that's where it is. But that's another thing I'll be doing on that Saturday night that I'm there at NAMM. I will go attend that race live, which is something I've always wanted. I've seen them live before in Toronto when they come to Toronto, or Detroit. They go there sometime. Well, they go there not every year, but every other year. So I've seen them live, but I've never seen them in California, obviously. So that'll be amazing. Looking forward to that. But I don't know the area, so obviously I'll just call Uber or something. And might potentially be going. Oh, awesome, Dave. Yeah, you're not that far. Arizona's not that far from Anaheim. I can imagine it's just 6 or 7-ish hours, I guess. I don't know, but it shouldn't be that far for you. I hope you go. It'd be awesome. Upside down. I thought the public couldn't go to winter. It's not public. Well, it's not. I think public day for Winter NAMM is maybe Saturday and Sunday, or just Sunday. It's one of those days. But I get an actual industry pass usually. The one I got in the summer was through my work. Basically, I apply as a professional that works in audio video, and then they get my credentials. NAMM people get my credentials, and then they either send me a pass as like an industry buyer or whatever. So I'm hoping it works out the same way for Winter NAMM, and if it doesn't, then I'll just have to make something else work. But the hotel is booked and the flight is booked, so I think I'm good to go. Oh, you'd fly, Dave. Okay, cool. Sunday, I believe, is public day, Joe Hervey says. Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. I know that Winter NAMM, it finished on a Saturday, and Saturday was the public day. Make sure you hit Norman's Rare Guitars, but don't tell your wife. I said, Bearded Blues Dudes. Yeah, I'm going to have to check out the maps and stuff to see exactly where some of these stores are, because I don't think they're in that close to the convention center, so I'll have to make a trip out there. I definitely want to go to Norman's Rare Guitars for sure. That could be dangerous though, because I am, as some of you know, my next guitar is looking like it's going to be a Les Paul Custom, a black one, and you never know. You go walk into those Norman's Rare Guitars or something, and they've got something pretty special there, and you try it, you could be in trouble. So, but I definitely want to go there. When I went to Nashville, I went to check out all the cool guitar stores, Carter's and Groons and Rumble Fish. I think it was Rumble Seat or Rumble Fish or something like that. Really cool stores and some great stuff. So I want to kind of hit a few of those types of things when I'm in California as well. Ralex says, what area are you staying? The convention center is right next to Disneyland. I recommend downtown Disney, free and something. Oh yeah, well, I'm staying right next to the convention center. The hotel, I can't remember the name of it, but it's right, like, it's not even a mile as far as walking distance. It's like half a mile or something like that. So it's right close to the convention center I'm staying at. Go to Norms. You can watch it on here. So much vids for Winter NAMM. Like, yeah, that's the other thing. There are a lot of vids that come out during Winter NAMM. So I'm going to film some stuff while I'm there, but I'm going to try to do maybe some different stuff or more focused on one or two things and not, try to do too much, because, there's already a ton of content that's going to come out. So I think the show is pretty well covered by many other channels. So I'm going to try to find my niche and kind of something cool or a different take on it. I'll definitely jump in and do some of that stuff. Dr. Dave's Guitar says, bet Norm has at least one. Yeah, I think they probably have a nice custom for sure. Norm is about 2 hours away, Zim Guitar says. Oh, okay, good to know, good to know. The problem with L.A. and Anaheim and that area or whatever, apparently I don't know, Toronto is really bad for traffic. So it's not that I'm not used to traffic and crowds and stuff, but apparently that area is completely nuts as far as trying to get somewhere that is, it's probably half an hour in normal traffic, but there it takes you an hour and a half because of it's always packed with traffic. So, and that could be just, stuff that I've heard, but, you West Coast natives probably know more than I do as far as that goes, but it's what you hear all the time, right? But Toronto is insanely busy. It's traffic all the time. So I can't imagine it's worse than that. If it is, my God, I don't know how anybody gets anywhere. Chicken Guitar says, go to Gearfest in June. Lots of YouTubers going. Free event. That's another event that I do plan on going in June. So that's not too far from where I am as far as distance. I think we can drive to that one if we want to. Probably an 8-hour drive or so for me. Rebbe bought a custom at Norm's. Yes, I know, Brad. That's what I'm worried about. If I walk into that store, something like that happens. But Yeah, yeah. He's got a nice one. He got a 70. I can't remember what year he got, but I don't think I'll be getting something there. But hey, listen, you never say never, right? You never say never. All right. Quite a few gonna try to make GearFest 2020. That's good. Yeah, GearFest is a cool event. I've heard a lot of good things about that. Brian Stewart went, and I know that Ben went the year before, I believe, and it always seems like a pretty cool experience. So that's something that unless something changes with scheduling and stuff, it's one of the events that I do want to go to for sure. Best way to do it is go to NAMM the first 2 days, get up stupid early in the third, and drive to Norm's. Yeah, there you go. That's probably the way to do it. I've been chicken guitars that I've been spoiled by country living. I have no patience for. Yeah, well, unfortunately, I live in the country here, so where I am, I'm about an hour away from my work, which is in the city. When I do go to the studio in the city, I do a lot of work from home as well. But where I am here, physically where my house is, there's not a lot of traffic in here. But as soon as you get about a half an hour away from my house, it's a complete different world. It's traffic jams and a lot of people, and it's craziness. So unfortunately, I have to still be in traffic when I want to get to some places that I go to frequently. But yeah, it's not fun. I hate traffic so bad, especially around the convention center during NAMM traffic. Yeah, Alex knows, right? I was there this summer. Traffic wasn't that bad, but I was in Santa Monica, not LA. Bearded Blues dude says, okay, good to know. I'm sure it's no different than Toronto, but you hear stories. Upside Down says he's looking like Gearfest 2020. Cool. Rebez is a 72. Oh, okay, a 72. Yeah, I don't know what he paid for that. He never. I don't think he ever divulged that information. I'm sure it wasn't cheap. Apparently, he probably got a great deal because of who he is too, right? So Norms, they know that he's going to promote that guitar and that store and that experience, and it's going to give them more publicity. I've got nothing like that to offer Norms. So whatever I get, if I got something at Norms, I'd be paying full pop for it. I'm pretty sure. But it'll be a great experience just to walk in that store and have a look, just like I did when I went to Carter's and the other stores. Chicken Guitars is making an effort to go to GearFest. By effort, I mean hoping and wishing my husband will be cool with it. Oh, I'm sure he will. I'm sure he will. Positive vibes. I'm sure you'll be fine. Bam. It'll be cool to own an instrument as old as I am. Yeah. I'd need a 69 for that. If I could find a 69. I don't know what the 69 customs are as far as neck profiles and frets, and I'm not that, like, I know a lot about them, but to get down to those specifics on certain years, I still need to do a little bit more research on them. But I'd like to get a 69, which is, my birth year and stuff. That'd be awesome. I wouldn't want that guitar head stock repair and not pretty. Oh, you mean the one that Rebet got? Yeah, I don't know. He seems to really like it. Well, obviously he bought it. If he didn't like it, he wouldn't have got it. But yeah, it's been repaired. But I guess you can repair those guitars and they come back as good as new. So who knows? LA is a huge city. Phoenix is big, 5th largest. LA dwarfs Phoenix. Oh, great! Wow. All right. Well, it's 7:58. I want to say thanks everybody for spending another Monday evening with me. It's a nice little hour to kind of chill and do some chatting, talk about some gear, talk about some news. Tonight we actually talked about a little bit of motorcycle stuff, which is always fun. And yeah, so this week is just a regular week as far as got a lot of stuff happening at work. So I got a live stream to do tomorrow, and I've got video shoots on Wednesday. So Thursday I work from here, and Friday I'm off. So if I do another type of stream or whatever, it would be probably Thursday or Friday afternoon. I will let you guys know. You'll probably see a notification if that happens. And yeah, other than that, have a great rest of the week. Hopefully this weather that we've been getting here in Ontario anyway, it's been awesome. Hopefully it keeps going. I'll keep you updated on if my wife moves from Harley Davidson to BMW, which will be pretty weird. But hey, it'd be a bonus, I guess, if I'll be able to ride a sport bike here and there when I want to go out on her bike and give us a little bit more variety, I suppose. But it's going to be different. That's for sure. It's going to be different. And yeah, so hopefully you guys had fun. I will catch you next week if I don't do a stream on Thursday or Friday, I guess. And let's see this. Undo that. And I think that's it. There's nothing else on the agenda. That's it, folks. That's all I got for you tonight. And I will make sure you, on Wednesday night, Dr. Guitars and Brian Stewart's show, Live Wires. It's an awesome show. If you haven't seen it, definitely tune into that. I love that show. And other than that, support each other in the community. I'm sure that we all see each other in other chats and other shows, which is awesome. We've got a great community here. Just keep that going strong. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, hit the subscribe button. It's always good to have. And I'll try to come up with some cool content for you and keep you all as entertained as I can. So we'll see you next time. All right? Have a good day, a good week, and a good night. Take care.